Tonight, a memorial in the district mourning every Israeli, Palestinian, and Lebanese life taken since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. The group gathering at Meridian Hill Park in Northwest, calling for a thriving future for all Palestinians and Israelis. Those gathered tonight wore white and called for a ceasefire on all sides, pushing for freedom, safety, and justice for everyone around the world.
We're trying to create a mood that is, of course, somber and reflective and honoring the dead, but also that we are building a new politics of life. Jews and Palestinians, Israelis and Palestinians, all of us in solidarity with each other, and I think the white is a really beautiful way to represent that.
This gathering also called for the release of every hostage still in captivity. Today on the National Mall, hundreds gathered for an event supporting Israel and efforts to release the hostages we just mentioned who are still in captivity. 7 News' Jay Korf was there, and he shares a unique perspective from 3 American college students who were in Israel on October 7th.
This is not an issue that can just be brushed aside. This is something that's very real and very present and very current.
In the shadow of the Washington Monument, hundreds of members of the Jewish community and their supporters gathered along the National Mall to reflect on a year's passing.
That more than 1,000 people were killed
Since terrorists murdered more than 1,200 people on October 7th in Israel.
No one really knew what was going on.
American friends Ariella, Joey, and Dasi, all college students, were studying abroad in Jerusalem on that day of horror and heartache.
People were so vicious, and we just keep hearing all these stories and putting all the pieces together, and it's just I was there in the same country, and it just it's really, really scary. It's hard to wrap your head around.
Bring them home! Bring them home!
A year later, they speak of resilience, knowing that more than 100 hostages remain in captivity and that the unspeakable, unleashed on October 7th, triggered a war with seemingly no end in sight.
We're not having that opportunity to mourn because we still have people that are hostage, and we're still being attacked on all sides.
This trio traveled from their university in New York to the nation's capital, resolved to fight for their faith in the face of anti-Semitism.
Anti-Semitism is no longer lurking in the shadows.
While also hoping that there's a place for peace for all of God's children.
It's been years, decades and centuries, and we thought it was over. We thought we had peace, and it just keeps on going. And when is it going to end?
Bring them home.
I'm Jay Korf for 7 News.